Hello, everybody, and welcome to our very first meeting of Master Heart Family. And I just love the name of that. Hey, Divya.
Hello,
And
Catherine.
the Master Heart Family that, contrast one of the teachings of this is to really recognize on that contrast, things we don't like are actually put there for us, even our committee thoughts, to help birth a brighter future for us, to help us to just look at it, say, this is what I don't want, and then ask, what do I want? And I remember Dua during Walk with God, which was an incredible program and where we really became our spiritual family, that she was talking about some contrasts. And she said, oh, I just hate that our spiritual family won't be together. And we still had like 4 more weeks left. That's how the committee is. It's like, why don't you just bring this up in 3 weeks? But it's already gnawing at her, in order to do. And so she said, so from that thought, I simply said, oh, that's what we don't want. And then I asked, what do we want? And I don't know, within a couple of days, all of a sudden, that I got this idea of, hey, let's continue this with our spiritual family. And then I just would start channeling. And some of you have told me on how, oh yeah, I was channeling the other day. In fact, Deborah Chriso was saying that to me the other day. And that, oh yeah, and then I channeled this. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's just so great. And again, it's walking with God. We're just walking with God, whatever words you want to use in order to make you feel good. And so what did I do? That we ended up creating this Master Heart Family. And so welcome. You're going to absolutely love our time together. It's a time for us to really share. This is a place, like, I'd like you to look at this as a place where I really don't like using the word safe, because we're always in a safe place. It's our committee that takes us to someplace else. But if you want to satisfy your committee, let's put it there that, this is a safe place to be. It's a place where we can share our heartfelt desires. We can share our experiences. We can, identify what's best, and ask on how do we figure this situation out, whatever it is. So it's going to be really a free time for all of us to be able to share some wonderful things. And I'd like to talk about the heart and kind of our name. Where did this name come from, the Master Heart Family? And the first thing is that most people do mastermind, right? They have a mastermind. And that's all nice. And I'm a mental scientist, so you sure would think that I would be having a mastermind group, okay? And there's no way, because it really goes beyond the mind, and it's about our heart. And to talk a little about our heart, that we've all been told to be guarded, don't talk to strangers. And this has happened since we were a little child, and our parents, our teachers, whoever, whatever, they were trying to help us, if you will. And they thought that this was an unsafe world. They had to help us be safe. But if we think and then feel, and this is part of this heart here, that all is well, then all is well. And so we've all, in front of your heart, just imagine thinking about your heart right now, that we've all have guards that are lined up in front of our hearts, that they got guns, whatever, and they're there to protect our heart. We've all been hurt. We've all had a broken heart. And now we realize that we don't need those guards there anymore. And we don't need the things that we don't want, that we can literally just think about the things that we want and have the life of our dreams. Our heart also, not only does it have guards in front of us, which, by the way, we're going to dismiss today. It's going to be a glorious time today together. But we'll also have some pretty rusty, actually, locks on our heart with rusty chains around our heart. And so this is about being guarded and that to watch out, not to be open and to be suspicious and all these worldly things that we were taught to be. We even have a little child in every one of us. You have that little girl, that little boy in you. And we've kind of locked it out, haven't we? We got to grow up, don't be silly, don't be having too much fun. Let's work hard, and so we've been actually drawn away and apart from our inner child. And we all have this inner child within us. And again, today we're going to free it, and we're going to really allow it to be in our life. And we've been told, come to us, come to God as children. And why is that? Because we've learned these worldly things and how we think we have to manipulate the world. And the battle's over. And we don't need to manipulate the world. We just need to manage our own thoughts, our own feelings, and we need to lead with heart. And so together, we're going to be building the foundation of trusting, believing, and knowing that God brings us all the things that we want. God literally, that's the energy that creates the things in our life, whether we want more money, whatever, and those thoughts that come are from God. Our only chore, our only thing we need to do is ask for what we want and why we want it. And so I think, recently I shared a lot of examples with you to just know that when you just expect the best, and one of my examples is the bunch of leaves that I had, and I swept out my front and it was pristine. And the next morning I woke up, it's a cold morning, and I'm not going to go outside. But I asked. And with heart, I asked that I wanted to have my heart sing that day, like I do every day. And so I look out the window and there's this big pile of leaves. And it's like, where'd these leaves come from? I just cleaned this. It was pristine. And it's like 2 feet of leaves, more leaves than ever has been on the board. And so I just allowed it. I realized that this was God giving me something. And I went, cleaned up the leaves, and as I was, all of a sudden I hear this one, oh, and it's these geese. And they had to call me. And fortunately, because I wasn't in a resistant mood about, man, the leaves are there, I just allowed it. And so I was open to hear the call. And in this case, the call was a simple one honk. And I look up, and 30 feet above me are 12 beautiful geese, just flying right over me, and their wings they weren't flapping hard, they were just breezing along. They were like our angels, like our 7 archangels. And so that made my heart sing. Okay, and it's all because of something that most people would have taken, oh, I got to go do these leaves. And they were all brown, old leaves. And I looked down, and amongst all the brown, ugly leaves are a beautiful, beautiful red leaf. And I went and showed Jenny that. She said, oh my God, I love that. We put a little Scotch tape up on the refrigerator and taped it on the refrigerator. And I shared that story with you, Gal, on Friday, and on I think it was Saturday, Gal, that you said, oh yeah, I know all about those leaves. That he actually found, his daughter found this beautiful red leaf. And so and this is how it works, by the way. You're going to just start attracting more and more wonderful things. Oh, there that picture is. Thank you, Yigal. Yeah, that beautiful leaf, and it's just the most beautiful leaf. So this is what life is about. Life isn't about only worrying about the business and the money and where there's something to worry about. Everything is here when we just will allow that to be here and know that everything that is happening to us is a blessing and divine. My little mind can't figure out what God is thinking about this, on how this will play out to be something good. But I have the faith, I have the belief, I have the expectation, I have the knowing that this is all doing this to play out. And as all of us are in that, with that type of knowing and expecting and believing and allowing it, know that it'll all be coming to you. So the belief in the unseen yet felt, these loving energies of the universe and our inner being, all that have walked before us, our 7 archangels, that they're here to guide us, to love us, to support us, as we now live the abundant life together. So this is a glorious time for us to connect together and with our hearts, and to lead with heart, and show the world heart, and you'll see that you'll have the world beat, if you will, that you'll overcome all of everything that has been bothering you and whatever. You'll start living the dream, just skipping along your lighted path, and to create together our life of our souls have always wanted. And this is how our souls and how each one of us got to this place right now. And so hearing that, what did you like best about what you heard so far? What are your thoughts? Oh, come on.
Working with you, I'm always about the creating my reality, right? And there's a peace. I always tell Dr. Hankins speaking to him, there's a peace within him. And so instead of just creating outwardly, is creating the peace inwardly.
Yeah, that's a great one. I love that. Reminds me of I say the ego, which is the committee. The ego says, when you get all of this stuff right out here and okay out here in the world, then you'll be okay. But your soul says, your heart says, when you're okay in here, that the whole world will become okay. Yeah, beautiful. Other thoughts, comments?
Well, I love that your attitude, your perspective,
You
and
ready?
everything is a blessing.
Do my
When you let,
my
go
Yeah.
ahead.
my. Oh, I hope I'm on mute. Let me see.
What was that? Oh, there are Antonio. Was that you?
Hi.
What did you say there, Antonio? Did you say something? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I think we kind of lost him now. He was on for a second, but anyways, Antonio, he's one of our family members, our Master Heart family members. And so, what about this idea about your inner child and how we've kind of shut out our inner child? Do you have some thoughts about that?
I'll say something again, if you don't mind. I have, I'm working on my program called Unlock the Leader for Leadership.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that we do lock ourselves up. We lock our hearts up, our minds up from whatever we've gone through in order to be able to lead with love. Like you said, those chains have to come off.
Yeah.
We got to get in the box. We just have to open up.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. So, and as we open up our hearts, so one of that, and we'll actually do today to be able to open up our heart, we'll also let in our inner child. And again, you just want to love this inner child. And I'll share with you the first time I realized kind of that I had an inner child, and this was some years back. And so I went to visit my inner child. And I was walking through this kind of dark corridor. It was dimly lit. And there were different names on these doors. There were doors. And I looked up, and one of the doors was fear. And I thought, wow, I must be walking through the corridor of hell, which is my committee. Okay, which most people are living there in that corridor. And then I looked up and I saw worry and complaining and blaming and shame and guilt but at the end of the hallway, at the on top of the door, it said inner child. God, remember this? I opened up the door and here was this poor, shaking, fearful little boy. And he was in the corner. He was malnourished, didn't have any food. It was just basically skin and bones. And it was even afraid of me because I had locked him out for so many years. And he didn't know I was like a stranger to him. And so I started to talk to him, started to say, hey, sorry, I didn't realize that I had an inner child within me. And I want you with me now. I want to have you to walk with you now. I want you to be in my arms now. And this little poor boy could barely, get up. He was weak, but he came running as fast as he could. It wasn't very fast, but right into my arms. I hugged that little boy. And I put that little boy into my heart. And that's why I act like a kid now, I do all kinds of fun, wonderful things because of that little boy. And you have the little girl, little boy in you. And again, we've just been, we've been taught to not have heart. We've been taught to, grow up and don't do this and shoulds, the shoulds, just get rid of all the shoulds. And so as we open up our hearts, so, people ask me, how can you be close to God and have money? And, how can you have both worlds? How can you have all this? And it's really, it's down to this, when you just give up this battle and when you invite, for example, your inner child that we'll do today, we invite your inner child in, that when you open up your heart, you'll see there's not a thing to be guarded by. And what will happen is it'll automatically raise your vibration. And as you raise your vibration, then you'll raise your point of attraction. You're closer to God, if you will. And you will get thoughts from God, divine thoughts on answers and solutions, everything that you desire. That business is good, money is great, God loves it all. These are all birth desires that we've had. And as we do that also, and we become the light, if you will, we become like a magnet to attract the people, the circumstances, and the events into our lives of all the things that we want. And we can literally have it the way that we want it. That's the way it is. But we have to do God's will, and God's will is not something that God made up and you have to do. God's will is you identify what you want, and then God knows that where you are and what you want, and knows the easiest path there. And when you do God's will is to allow God to do the work. You don't have to figure it out anymore. You don't have to go upstream and work hard and sacrifice and do all this stuff. You can just enjoy yourself. And you don't have to be a PP anymore, a people pleaser. Okay.
So first
Yeah.
first you have to open your heart. Is that the first step?
Yeah. To open up your heart. And we're going to dismiss the guards. We're going to take off the chains today, the locks today. We're going to also invite your inner child, and so your little girl that's within you, because it's so precious and it's all pure love. See, the essence of who we are goes, and I would write this down, that the essence of who we are goes in a different direction than the brain, than the things that you're typically thinking about. So when you realize the essence, so the question is, well, then who am I? And the essence of who you, we, each one of us are, is we're pure love. God, it's this loving energy. We're part of this loving energy. And we've been given the amazing authority to be able to use our minds, to use the energy that creates worlds and mold it into our experience. And by birthing these new thoughts and new desires, it's more to what? You know, the other day, Ginny broke a vase, a real expensive one we got in Europe, whatever. And I said, oh, that's fantastic. And she's looking at me like, well, where's the good news in this? Like, it's more to want. You know, it's just, oh my gosh, it's just so great. We get to want more, and that expands. It puts the eternity into us. And that's why every one of us are just such an integral part, an important role that we each play in putting the eternity into everything by experiencing this life, brushing up against this contrast, and then birthing what we want, because that's where God goes on what we do want and has all the answers and everything. What most people do, though, is they sit in their pity party. And so I had someone today who their dear friend of 37 years is transitioning. Had a heart attack and transitioning back to God. And she was all sad and upset. And within 10 minutes, she was all happy. Because she realized, oh my God, I don't make my best friend's sole desire. And my friend can be with me even more so in a more meaningful way now. Does anybody have any experiences where you've, been with, felt the presence of whatever, those that have walked before us?
Well, yes. My sweet mother, she was 93 years old, and she passed away last week.
Yeah.
And so she's a wonderful lady, and it was definitely a blessing,
Yeah.
because we were getting ready to put her into assisted living, and she was able to live in her home up until that time.
Yeah.
And she passed right before she was supposed to go into assisted living.
Yeah.
So anyway, so all my family was together last weekend, and we were in my mom's house, and it was just my kids around the kitchen counter. And I was sharing with them, the last couple of days of what my brother was telling me, what my mom was going through. And so they were all ears. I have 5 children. And anyway, and so it was really, just really quiet. And I felt, we could all feel that wonderful feeling in my mom's presence. And I said, she's here right now with us. And it just lasted, maybe 20 seconds, but we were all quiet and we all felt her. And it was wonderful.
A beautiful, beautiful attitude, Robin. And it's all on how you look at it. And so you're looking at it the way that God does, because I got tears of joy on hearing that, and know that, your mom now is with your dad too, and which is really another whole blessing itself, but they also can both guide you now, and that they're this pure love now. And they can help you to everything. They have a keen interest in you. They love you, will always love you for eternity. And now they can have fun with you and really guide you more so than they were here in this physical experience, guide you. And so again, with thoughts and feelings, and I don't know, I have a feeling some book's going to fall off the counter. So that's meaningful, with your mom, just as a little signal to you that we're always giving you hints, on how to do that. And so it's just beautiful. Yeah. So I love the way that you shared that. Thank you. Great. And anybody else have anything you want to share? with others? Okay, what I'd like to do, and would you like to connect with your inner child and take all the stuff off your heart, all the guardedness off your heart, and just open it up? And okay, excellent. We will. That one of the things that I want you to write down and would suggest that you think about, and I put it on a 3x5 index card or whatever, but I ask to open up my heart now. And you will be amazed at what will start happening. And so I did this when I realized that it was after I realized my inner child, I had kind of blocked out, and or I had blocked out. And you got to be a guy and tough and rough and everything, all against what kids are and the way that we're supposed to enjoy our lives. And then I realized that I had a bunch of chains and guards around my heart. And so I was able to, I just started asking for this very simple thing that I asked to open up my heart now. And you will find just wonderful things that will happen to you as you just ask for that I want to be who I really am in this pure love. I want to lead with heart. And that you'll see it's all easy and simple. You don't need to figure out anything. And so let's invite our, we'll do two things. And we'll invite our inner child, and we're going to go down, and so it doesn't have to look like mine did on that hallway. It can be a bright, lovely hallway, and whatever you want and however it is. But we're going to go into your inner child, invite them in, and then we're going to dismiss the guards and take the chains and locks off, so we can really live with heart. And when you live with heart, oh goodness, you walk with God and everything comes to you easily and in just perfect portions and perfect time. So what I'd like you to do, it's usually easier to go within by closing your eyes. And so I would close your eyes and just breathe in now. So breathe in. And breathe out. And just ask yourself to relax. Breathe in. And breathe out. And say at ease, to just become at ease. And breathe in. And as you breathe out, just ask to open up your heart now. Breathe in. And ask now as you breathe out to find your inner child, to love your inner child now. Breathe in and breathe out. And this is now so. Let us go together now. And we lift up, and our archangels lift us up. We begin to float and go. Floating and seeing Mother Earth there. It's getting smaller and smaller as we float away from that. And we float to the kingdom within us. And we ask now to find our child, to float down now into the hallway where your inner child is. Begin to walk down this hallway. At the end of the hallway is your inner child. And open up that door now. And walk into this room You feel the love there. You feel the presence of your beautiful inner child. And you ask your child to come to you. And your child so happily comes to you. And you hug your child. Your inner child hugs you and says to you, I love you so much. I want to be with you forever. And you respond, and I love you. And you are now with me forever. And come with me now. You grab your inner child, and hug your inner child. Put your inner child in your left arm. Begin to float up, floating up, feeling so happy, so in love. And now go within the kingdom within you. And your kingdom is now prospering. And you go and float now to your heart. And there stands 2 guards in front of your heart. And you with your inner child, now with one voice, give permission to dismiss them. You are dismissed now. You can leave and stop the guarding. There's nothing to guard any longer. There's only everything to love. And that's what I am open for, to be at one with God, to walk with God. And oh, I feel that inner child, feel your inner child loving you so much. And as you stand in front of your heart, you notice that your heart is tight, it's crimped, it has these chains, tight chains around it. It has these locks on it. And the answer to unlocking these is your inner child. Your inner child has the key to all the locks, that innocence, that pure love. No more manipulation. No more battle. It's over. And your inner child unlocks one lock after the next lock, after the next lock. And when the lock is undone, boom, this chain just releases itself from your heart. That tight chain around your heart. Then it falls now and just disintegrates. The locks and the chains, the guards, they're gone. And you and your inner child now look at your heart, and your heart begins to swell up. It begins to pump so easily now, so beautifully. Its colors turn into an even deeper red color. You just love on how healthy your heart is now, how free your heart is, that you're free to love yourself, you're free to love the world, you're free to love your loved ones, your family, all those that have walked before you, your 7 archangels, God and all the loving energies of the universe. You're wide open now. And ask with your child in one voice for your heart to open up now. And your heart opens up fully. And you walk in with your child into your heart, and it feels so divine, so warm, so filled with love. Now you know everything is well. All is well. You know that your dreams now are coming true through your heart as you lead with this beautiful open heart. And oh, you take your inner child, you hug your inner child, you kiss your inner child, you say, now you can be here with me forever in this love in my heart. In my heart, you are now forever my beautiful inner child. And you step back then, and your inner child now is so happy, so at peace, so at one with you. And you have been given permission now to act as a child, to come with just pure love to everything, and everyone, and every situation. And as your heart doors close, it's just beating so beautifully. It's so happy. It's breathing so freely now. Finally, the chains are off. Finally, the guards are gone. Anybody can enter into your heart now, and they will be overwhelmed with your love, and they will help you to all of your desires. That's what others are there for. And now they're all angelic, and everyone you attract because of your love leading with your heart, that you shall attract the most magnificent life and circumstances and people, everything that you want, your dreams coming true as you have an open heart now. Ah. And take a deep breath in. And give your beautiful heart. Put your hand on your heart and just feel your loving heart with your inner child, so filled with love and at one with you. You are in one with your heart, one with God, one with your inner child. And you feel so good. You feel so, so free. And now our angels come and lift us up and float us now so easily and gracefully and freely. As we leave our inner world, always be connected now with our inner world and our heart and our inner child. As we float down, and now we see this beautiful Mother Earth, where we give eternity to everything. And that we get closer and closer to Mother Earth. It's just so beautiful. We see the beauty in everything and everyone, and especially the beauty and love in ourselves now. And now we come back into our seat. And on the count of one, we'll open up our eyes. Number 3, and it's for our mind, body, and spirit. Our heart are at one. And 2, the 2 of us, our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, now communicating at one with our heart and with God. And now 1, we open up our eyes and welcome this beautiful, loving heart and inner child into our lives now and forevermore. So what did you love best about that? Mom, what did you like best? You're on mute. Yeah. There.
Okay, so, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I loved envisioning I saw my 7-year-old self just doing everything he said and unlocking all the lots and I could visually see it all,
Yeah.
feel it. So it was really beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, great, great. I can tell that, and this is now done. This is done, and now you got your inner child back, and we can all start having even more fun now. We laugh more and smile more. Know that all is well. Ross, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the idea of taking the chains off. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we all have people that we don't let in. And
Yeah,
this exercise, you let everyone in. So you have to really adjust. That's not the right word. I mean, you really have to be open to everything.
yeah.
And that's quite a feat, I would say.
Yeah, and you don't have to do the work. It's already done. So you just be open, don't use your mind. Remember, your mind is going a different direction than your heart. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Dr. Hank, how can you tell like if your thoughts are from your heart or from your mind? Like what's
Yeah.
if you have a thought, like how can you categorize like should I do it? Is it my mind? Is it
Right.
the drunken
Right.
monkey or is
And the beautiful thing is that everything is easy to include this answer, is that God communicates with us and your higher power and your heart. We all are communicating with you through your feelings. So when you feel bad about something, or guilty about something or mad about something, that it's your indication. You're not looking at this properly. You're not looking at this the way that God is. And so in action, like only do inspired action. If you're say, oh, well, I got to do this and got to call 20 people today, don't do it. That, it doesn't feel good. That just be led to the answers. And the easiest way to do that is through your deep breathing and to just know that it's coming and just to allow it. If I would have been outside doing the leaves mad, I wouldn't have heard the goose, seen the geese, had my heart sing, wouldn't have seen the red leaf, and would have gone in with the other garbage. And it's all because I allow it. And so it's this idea about just having lots of heart and to be able to recognize. And you'll see also that the crazy, silly ideas that the committee has, those eventually pretty much go away. And whenever they're there, you'll know that they're there. It'll become very self-evident as you don't feel good with it, or you have confusion. See, anything confusion that when you're on the level, at the highest level of vibration where God is, there's clarity. That's a divine word. Okay, when you're clear about it. And so if you're not clear, simply ask. And hey, I'd like clarity about this. What should I do? And then just let it go. And it kind of reminds me of the way Ross had the antique furniture and didn't know anything about who to go to or whatever. And then she just asked, I want a solution, and she let it go. And within a couple hours, there was a knock on her door and the solution, and that, someone knew an antique dealer. And so it's that easy. And so if we don't see, we're so attached to this stuff, if you will, that there's nothing to attach for, know that all is well. And we really become the observer. And so just observe and start observing your life and say, oh, look at, this happened, that's what I don't want. What do I want? And you'll just be skipping along where God is. Because again, when you have contrast, God immediately goes to that high place, that love, that peace, that freedom, that heart, goes and knows exactly what you want and has delivered the goods to you, has the answer. God went there. And the only thing we need to do is go there with God. And so you simply feel good. So again, back to Mung's question on, hey, how do I know? Because I have all these thoughts that rise up. You're going to rise up above all this. Breathe deeply. Know that when you feel bad, it means that's not the thought to go after. You're not thinking about this the way that God is. And, like the holidays are coming up, then just plan on having the best holidays. And when you do and you feel great, the business will come and the new ideas and thoughts will come, because you just need to be on that level. It can be about any subject and more will come to you. Yeah. Other thoughts? What did you like best? Deborah?
Hey, yeah, so I during that I saw my daughter, which was funny, but
Great.
even going to the zoo with her over the weekend, she just turned 2 for everybody to know. So she's at that age, and it's like reliving my childhood with her. She, at the zoo, I saw things like she was, and then I looked around to see who else was looking at me, seeing the things like she was. I got really into it. I was like,
Cool.
dancing, but and I still, my mind gets like redirected sometimes, but it really taught me to like screw that, it really doesn't matter, and just enjoy that time with her, because that's what she needs, and her laughing and all of that is everything. So I felt my inner being, or inner child laugh.
Yeah.
And because last night I had my heart was guarded. I did something I usually don't do on a Sunday is I took a phone call with somebody who I work with, because I couldn't talk to him Saturday. I got home really, really late and we were going to chat. He had some momentum going in the business, and, he's this new doctor that I brought on board, and great guy. But, I sent him something that he signed up a few customers, and I sent him the wrong pricing sheet. And I guess the prices went up, and I have this old, anyways.
Yeah.
So he wasn't happy. And it was a Sunday night. I literally napped all day yesterday. It was the last thing. And then he's like, so it really ruined my, evening. And I let it. And it's even been impacting my day. So it's just like chill, you made a mistake. Now it's a few people, and we fixed it. We figured out a way, but it was very hard for him to get past that. And as much as I could apologize and do what I could. So
yeah, beautiful. And so to rise up above that, and so let's look first at, with your child, and with Mira, to be able to actually live her life right now. That's a great way to invite your child back and your inner child back, and for you to feel good. And again, that feeling good, that's the best that you can do in order to have everything that you want. It's all about this feeling. And so, and to feel good and to feel love, and you'll continue to do it. Now, with the situation with, the doctor didn't like it, whatever. Again, people have different opinions about whatever. If he doesn't get it, then, hey, it's a Sunday, it's sent the wrong thing, that happens. Now you're going to be sent the right thing. We have an answer and solution, and then just leave that. And then, but however, use love in the situation now, even more so. So before, yesterday was probably more fear and, oh, gee, how could I have done this? Whatever. Just put love into it. And so ask, hey, I just want my heart to be in with this person, with this situation. And you'll see that things will turn around a lot quicker than you being in, because where that doctor was he was low vibrational and mad and angry and whatever. And you went down there to greet him. And so that just gets worse, if you will, and you build more of what you don't want. When you greet them up here, hey, that with love and heart, and ask Archangel Gabriel for communication, then, to come in. I want to be the angel of communication. Well, when you're an angel of communication, nobody can get mad at you. You're an angel. And when you have that attitude and don't buy into where people are, that's why it doesn't matter. You ask somebody a question, it doesn't matter what they answer. What matters is what you're thinking about it, what your answer is, if you will, and you go with that because you know that you're on this higher or a different realm than them, and you're walking with God, you're leading with heart. And so it's a great example on how to lead with heart and to say any situation that happens that the first thing I'm going to call in is my heart. I'm going to lead with heart. That, you
Even
know,
to myself, like I was more mad at myself for
Right.
making such a mistake, and
Yeah.
you know, and so I have to lead with heart to myself. I have to show
Yeah.
myself the same love,
Absolutely.
and just watching you, Becky, like I don't know you, but you're making me happy. Just you made, I don't know. I feel your energy and like my first time meeting you, but your smiles and everything, girl, like I don't know, you have something special. So
Thank you, Deborah. I've been feeling the same way about you because you've been like your movements, and I've just been happy watching you.
It's a happy family. Well, that's great. Well, fantastic. And I really appreciate your input. Any last statements on what did you like best about our first session together? Our Master Heart family.
Everything, Dr. Hank, and I did love meeting my inner child and holding her and asking her into my heart, and now we're walking merrily along together forever. And it's just what a beautiful thought to just spend the rest of our day now knowing our heart is open.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, with an open heart will open all your dreams to come true. So with that we have our little sing-along now, and it's a new sing-along, so we have new words. I don't know if you got it. I sent it this morning.
I want to say hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Hank.
Hey, Antonio.
Can you hear me?
We can.
I'm just having a bad connection with my phone today. I'm not sure what's going on with it.
It's all good. How are you, my friend?
It's all good. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm just really glad to be on today. I know I haven't been on for a while, but the sessions are very encouraging to everyone, especially myself. It's something that you were saying earlier about the childhood lifestyle, like walking back and begin to allow that love and that compassion to go into areas that were so dark.
Yes.
You there?
Yes. We hear
Hello?
you. Yep. We got
Okay.
you.
Well, anyway.
Go ahead, Antonio. I don't know. I think he's still on, but we can't hear him right now. So with that, so Antonio, you can save it for next time. We do meet next Monday. I'm going to be in the European Christmas markets. But Deborah has agreed to, Deborah Crystal has agreed to lead our family. So next week we will meet, same time, same link. And we thank you for that. And so with that let's do our sing along. And again, I'll sing the first sentence, you repeat after me. And if you don't have the words, that's okay. But we've invited our hearts in.
We've invited our hearts in.
Now it's time for our dreams to begin.
Now
It's time for our dreams to begin.
We love our Master Heart family.
We love our Master Heart family.
As we now walk together so merrily.
As we now walk together merrily.
We are now leading with heart.
We are now leading with heart.
And this is how to live life smart.
This is
how to live life
smart.
Sound off.
Sound off.
Our Master Heart family.
Our
Master Heart family.
Sound off.
Sound
Sound
Our
off.
Master Heart family.
Our
Master Heart family.
Sound off.
Sound
Our
of
Master Heart family.
our
Master
Master Heart
Heart
family.
family.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, I love you and happy holidays and a fantastic, amazing time together. Thanks for all your input. And I'll be with you in spirit next week. Deborah will lead us next week, and know that all is well and getting better as you lead with heart. And now you got your inner child back, and no more guards on that heart, no more chains, no more locks, that you're free to have your dreams come to you now. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.